Coming up on this week's show.
Hello, welcome back to HAG'S Lab. I made a new program for the Commodore 64 again. This time I made a completely useless The Retro Hour episode guide for the Commodore 64. Let's have a look. I have put the PRG on the SD card in my Kung Fu Flash, so let's just put it in the C64 and have a look. So as you can see, there is a splash screen animation when you start up the program. Let's just move over to some capture to get a better picture and we'll have a closer look. Okay, we're good to go. I'm here with my C64C. I have my Kung Fu Flash cartridge right here. We are looking at the Kung Fu Flash menu. We can see that I have C64 retrohour.prg ready. So let me just hit enter. So as a bit of a splash screen animation, it's nothing special, it's the best I could do. But I did actually think I managed to capture the different kind of lettering in the logo. Because if you have a look at the logo, there's these, every character in retro has its own look. And I used some Petsky characters to try and mimic the look as close as I could. And obviously the red circle, that was kind of hard to get to look nice, but this was the best I could do. It would definitely be possible to make a better splash screen in bitmap mode or some stuff like that, but this is just pure character mode using Petsky characters. Alright, so we press a button to continue and it takes us into the main home page of the application. We have some database statistics. I made this program to look like kind of an old, I don't know, CRM database, businessy kind of thing. So you can see that this was last updated the 21st of April. It contains 322 episodes, which I think is, at the time that is missing one, I think. And I put my YouTube link in there, hag.yt, takes you to my YouTube channel. And at the bottom we have the different parts of the program, the features. So I'm basically using F1, 3, 5 and 7, which are the buttons on the side here of course, and then home to just go back to the home page. So let's just start having a look at the program. Let's do F1. It just gives us the about text. This is all taken from the Retro Hour website, so hope that's okay. About the Retro Hour podcast is an independent audio project running weekly since 2016. The aim is to capture voices and pioneers in the video game, voices of the pioneers in the video game world maybe. In our lifetime, we have seen huge leaps in technology, games development, and culture. We feel it is important to capture these stories and voices for future generations. And that's definitely what you guys are doing. So F3 takes us to hosts. So we have Dan Woodhair. And at this point you can just tap F3 again to cycle through Dan, Ravi and Joe. You can also just press enter, I think. Yeah. So that's the BIOS from the hosts. That's also taken from the website. And F5 takes us to episodes. And here's a couple of features there. You can use the arrow keys to, well, up and down anyway, to just browse through all the episodes. obviously shift down to go up, and it should roll around. Yeah. So if you just wanna browse around, you can do that. And you can also see that F7 here. That's a random function. So that just takes a random episode and shows the episode number and name. That's a pretty cool episode. But let's go back to F5 though, because we have one more feature here, and that is the search feature. So if I press return, we can do a database query, not an actual query, but a search term. So let's just do MVG, I guess. MVG. So there's one episode with MVG. That's the one with LGR, Kim Justice, and MVG. Dimitris. If we search again, it's going to, it's going to continue searching from episode 300. So you can search for multiple episodes with the same term, but it didn't find any there. G has definitely been in more episodes, but I guess we have to search for modern. Yeah, there he is. We can do that again to find the next episode. So you know, it's a bit of a hassle. It's but I did it purposely like this because I imagine that's how a bad business kind of program would be. Well, some of them at least. Kind of. So it was in the beginning of the computing. Everything wasn't as user-friendly, and everything had its quirks. Let's see what more we can search for. Let's do, I don't know, bitmap. That wrapped around. Let's do it again. Bitmap. Yeah, so that's the Bitmap Brothers. Okay. Well, that's basically it for the program. It's very simple. I'm still just trying to learn CC65, just trying to make stuff for the C64 because it's fun. And we could talk a little bit about the color scheme. I just tried to pick colors from the website. It's green for the most part, not this shade of course, but we have to stick with the colors that the C64 can produce. And the red is just from that red circle in the logo. And yeah, so the white and green kind of looked nice, I think. And if I just restart this, reset, you can see that I just went for the full green background here because that looks the nicest. And this is obviously the red from the logo. So one last thing, there is a hidden Easter egg in this, and it's a key combination that you have to do. And it would be fun if anyone found it. I think maybe you could guess it, or you could do some reverse engineering. Maybe have a look at the assembly code. Do a disassembly, have a look, see if you can figure it out. This the code for this whole thing is obviously on my GitHub as well, but I have the Easter eggs in another branch on my local PC only, so I will push that after someone finds it. So I will do. I'm going to do the Easter egg now, but I'm going to pixelate it in the video, so you'll have to try and find it. So there we go, that's it. And if you just press a key from that, it's just going to go back to the splash screen again and take you back into the program. So we're at the PC, and this is part of the code for the program. I'm not going to go into details of the code, maybe I'll do that later, but right now the Easter egg is in this code as well, so I'm not gonna give anything away there. You can see that I have this episodes.h header file with all the headers in it, and this is actually automatically generated by a script I have, so it's pretty handy. I can show you how that works. So I just open this. I'm using this tool called LinkPad, which is it's kind of a simple tool to write some C# scripts. Well, C# or anything .NET, to be honest. You can add data sources and everything. It's a very useful tool. I use it all the time. Anyway, so I have this XML reader code that I just whipped up that takes the podcast RSS feed, does some nasty parsing and replacing and stuff, and then just generates the header file for us. So as we can see, the last episode is actually Manic Miner right now. And if we have a look at the program in the emulator, we should be able to just go to episodes and go one up. So the last episode is episode 322, which is Manic Miner. So let's just run this and hope everything works. We got a new file. It does say 323 there, so that should work. Let's go down. Yeah, and we have the newest episode, the Developing Doom with id Software legend Dave Taylor. So now I can just copy that and put it straight into my program. And I also have a kind of a decent setup here. If I open my emulator, if I actually save this file now, you can see that it auto restarts the program. It's a bit of a tweak I did to my emulator and a script in Visual Studio Code to simplify development. And if we go inside here now, we can see that the update date has changed and the episode number has changed as well. And we can go to F5 and have a look at the last episode, which is now Developing Doom with id Software. So that's how that works. And I also thought we could have a look at the splash screen. I've been using this tool called Petsky Editor, which is a browser-based editor for you can do character screens, you can do sprites. I've used this for sprites as well before, and it's pretty good. But it's kind of a pain to save and like open, export stuff from this. But yeah, it is pretty nice though. But what I did was after making it in this program, I actually exported it, and then I exported it as a CBM PRG Studio STD file. And that just makes it a little bit easier to just keep track of the file, and also put it in my Git repository and stuff like that. So in CBM PRG Studio, which is a great tool by the way, I haven't used it for a whole project or anything, but it seems to be awesome. But anyway, I imported the splash screen, the STD file, into this project. So now I can open it and edit it here as well. And this editor is pretty good as well, to be honest. I may like this one better. I think it's just a little bit easier to use, but it's nice that they are interchangeable. So that's pretty good. And both of the tools allow you to export the data you need. So if I go, where do I go? Is it saved? Nope, that just downloads it. I think I need to go to screens, export. Yeah, it's the same place. So if I just wanted the raw byte stream, I could do that, and I get that here. So this is the byte screen for the character codes and color data. So you can do the same thing here, but I did struggle to find it for a little bit because it's like, it just says export assembler. It's just a few settings basically, but I think the defaults are okay. So if you go OK, it actually just gives you the data you need. And this one doesn't have a lot of options for the formatting, but it's pretty easy to take the data. So these are the character data, the character bytes, and these are the color bytes. So if I just take these and I go into Visual Studio Code, I do splash. So that's going to be the characters here, and I usually just paste them in, and with some, we can do some replacing first. Let's just replace that with 0x to fix the hexadecimal notation. And then I just select every line again. I do Shift-Alt-I, which gives me multiple characters. Just remove the byte in the beginning, and I add a comma to the end. And we should be back to syntactically correct C code. So if I save now, yeah, we can see that I did build and everything looks okay. Last thing is this is definitely going to be on my GitHub. The repository is private for now, but I will obviously make this public when I release the video. I'll add some more information, update the README, add some screenshots and stuff, and how to build and change stuff. This is where you're going to find it. I'm going to put the link in the description, obviously. I think that is it. I can also just open the Vice emulator if you want to have a look at it in that as well. This is obviously my emulator that I've been talking about way too much before. Just drag and drop it on Vice, and it should load there as well. Vice is actually way slower to load because it loads it in a different way. There we go. Okay, I think that concludes this this episode. I hope it's a bit of fun. I'm still just trying to learn CC65. I'm no expert C64 programmer. I don't do much assembly. I usually like to do it in C just to whip up some stupid stuff fast. It's always fun to just do stupid stuff that you don't have to do, you just want to do it. Okay, thank you for watching. See you next time.